perspective, we'll go back to the Observer. The Observer says TNA has pushed Joe. I'm assuming that's Samoa Joe.
Samoa, yeah.
Yeah, Joe, he says, but they have pushed Joe, maybe not as smart as they should have, and he's never been given the run as the top guy, but he is a top guy, and Joe is fresh, a good talker, great worker, and really never proved to be a ratings mover. Of course, neither have Sting or Angle after their first few appearances. You touched on that. Hey, they
Yep.
never got ratings, no matter who was doing what.
Yep.
But it says Jarrett has been behind Junior Fatu and Team 3D because they have had the years of TV being in the first 2 hour show main events. However, Jarrett sees the X Division guys as undercard filler, but Russo has the mentality of all the run in finishes, even though Angle, his ally, likes cleaner finishes. A lot to digest there.
Yeah.
First of all, remember '07. What are your thoughts here on Joe being a top guy at that point? He had to be
Well,
a fresh shot in the arm.
yeah, he was, but he wasn't a top guy. That's what I get frustrated about is the language, and I talked about this earlier. It's got misconstrued over the years. Joe wasn't a top guy in 207, and if you think he was, then I don't know what you're thinking about. Like you're playing small ball. But Joe's a top guy now for sure, and has been. I'd say for the better part of a decade. Like but he was just coming on the scene. Like, oh well, he's been in Ring of Honor forever. Nobody watched Ring of Honor. Like it went out of business. Like no, they didn't do good business. And so to say that, like I don't know, I just feel like it's not fair. People just because they're on TV and they win a match doesn't make them over. There's a difference between being over and being popular. And I think today's fans and wrestlers need to realize that. So top guy is Joe a top guy? Heck yes. Was he in 2007? I don't think so. I think he got there because of this, because of his work with Angle, because of his, and maybe it was Angle's idea. But like I think what we're talking about here is a bunch of different people vying for power positions and it not going smoothly. Imagine that. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's kind of how that always happens when
Yeah,
people are
yeah.
vying for power.
Never goes smoothly. And people's feelings are always hurt. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't get what they want, but some people do. That's just man, that's the way of the business, is the way of the world.
I know this wasn't your gig, this was Jarrett's gig, but what do you think about the sentence? Jarrett saw the X Division guys as undercard filler. Did you ever hear that? Did you ever feel like that?
Uh y- yes. Yes, I felt that way. I mean I did. You're gonna have Sting on the card, or you're gonna have uh X Division Joe, and I don't know who's not Joe, of course, but I don't know who to say there. But like some young up and comer who can really wrestle good, or this guy who's had a distinguished career and Sting or the Steiners, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna put the X Division on the main event when you got those guys, and I don't know that you're gonna put them on the main event anyway. And if you do, you see what happens. Ring of Honor happens. You know what I mean? And it's I liked Ring of Honor. They had great wrestlers and great wrestling, but that's not a winning formula. You know, you
Yeah.
need more than that, and they didn't have that.
All right, BG, we know that Kurt Jeff conflict is going on. It's going to grow into something much bigger, but we do know, like you mentioned, Jeff, you said that part was correct. They were lining up allies this whole time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And look, that's what you do. Look, that's what they do in the Senate. They wrangle the votes, right?
Yeah.
You get everybody on your side. It's exactly how it works. Politics is politics, so it's exactly how it works in the business too.